So I shared this article yesterday that was about a man in Columbus, Ohio, 23 years old, stole an AR-15 and a shotgun out of a police cruiser, which is pretty ironic. And if I'm being honest, it's funny. Not funny like I'm actually going to laugh. Like, obviously, I'm not cracking up and chuckling to myself about it. But it's kind of funny when you think about it in the context. Because we can't disarm police officers if we want to disarm the country. You know, if we get rid of the Second Amendment and take everybody's guns away, then we need the police officers to be able to protect us, right? Like, what happens if, like, Jason Momoa goes on a spree and police officers don't have guns? Like, you're not going to stop him. The guy's a friggin' manimal. But, yeah, so then, we always talk about, oh, we're going to add all these laws so that way we can prevent people from getting hurt. Because the police officers, they can stop people from getting hurt. Which, to me, just sounds like a bad argument. Like, the government's bad at, like, everything. Like, have you ever driven down, like the highway, fucking potholes? That's the government for you. Like, oh, always this construction. Seems like during peak traffic hours, there's construction. That's the government for you. You ever go to the post office or the DMV? That's the government. So imagine if, like, the quality of DMV workers, and I am so sorry if you work at the DMV. I know it's not your fault. But imagine DMV quality of work when it comes to your personal protection. That's not going to work for me, dog. It's definitely not going to work for me. So yeah, that's why you should be in charge of your own safety. And I understand, mass shootings. Are there really that many criminals? Well, I bring up this article, aside from just highlighting this very isolated incident, because it's not like this happens everywhere all the time, every day. I mean, I'm sure if it catches a lot of traction, the media will report on it a lot, but that doesn't mean that it happens a lot. No, the reason why I bring this up is actually because you need to be in charge of your own safety. Like, no doubt. You know that in America, here's something they don't talk about our gun statistics and how it affects, lots of mass shootings. I mean, there are some mass shootings. That's true. But we don't have a lot of? What is actually, like, one thing that basically never happens in America is your house getting robbed while you're inside of it. You know where that does happen a lot? Happens a lot in, like, the UK and London, places where guns are completely banned. And some asshole with a crowbar kicks in your front door and you're just forced to sit there. You might even just get bludgeoned, like, it completely incapacitated, beaten to a pulp, and then they rob your house. Now, that sounds fucking awful. Like, I don't know about you guys. I have been robbed before. Like, I've been robbed, like, a couple times. And I don't mean the way that, like, if you get tricked and something gets, you get tricked and, like, hey, you owe me $1,000 for that. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's your own fault. Your eyes got bigger than your wallet and somebody walked away with your money. That's, that happens, especially if you're a, shiesty kind of person. But I've not just been robbed in that way. No, I've been robbed at gunpoint. Guy, you take a nap on your couch, you wake up, and there's some dude sitting across from you, and he says, you're just going to sit right there. And it's the fucking scariest thing. Like, somebody's going to call me, like, a pansy, and, like, somebody's going to make fun of me for saying that's, like, the scariest thing, but it really is. Somebody they give you the freeze voice, which is something people don't know, that thing where bank robbers in movies, where they're like, freeze! And it sounds dumb. But the thing is, that's a real thing. Because, you got to say it, and you got to say it loud. It's got to be in a certain tone. Gives, I wish you guys could see me. It kind of puts them into shock for a second. Like, it just stuns you for, like, a half a second. And then it's too late. Then, some dude runs up on you and shows you who the man is. And yeah, so then, you're going for the ride. It's happened to me before. It's happened to a few of my friends before. And it fucking sucks. But you know what doesn't usually happen? You don't usually have to go to the hospital after that because you just sit tight. What they really want is your money, or you'd already be dead or injured. Now, alternatively, somebody runs up on you with a crowbar. They're not going to, oh, freeze, sit on the couch. No, they're going to crack you across the fucking face. It might kill you. It will permanently alter your thought pattern, especially permanently altering your gun pattern when it comes to gun control. Full circle. I did it, guys. So yeah, if that's never happened to you, I can see why you think, you just call the cops, you sit tight, you wait. And before one of you assholes say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you just call the cops. Do you think while you're sitting on the fucking couch, or if that dude cracks you across the face with a fucking t-ball bat, do you think you're gonna remember to call the cops? When you wake up, do you think you're gonna be like, oh shit, I need to call the cops? No, you're gonna wake up and say, I need to get an ambulance. So, I bring up this article to merely point out the fact that I think putting your safety, the safety of yourself, of your significant other, your children, if you have any, your parents, if, maybe you're a little older and you take care of your parents, you're going to put their safety in the hands of the government, who can't even get you in and out of the DMV. They got 12 windows and 3 people working. That's the DMV. You want the government to be in charge of your safety. It's a no for me, dog. Plain and simple. But yeah, so I don't know. Just give that one a think over. Try and give me a solution, the no gun solution, for why the UK has so many people. Most break-ins in the UK happen while the people are home. In America, only 1 in 10 break-ins happen with someone in the home. And more often than not, when it happens in America that there's a break-in in somebody's home, the crooks leave. Doesn't quite happen that way over there. So just ask yourself, next time you're in an argument about it. And, I'm not one of those people that says there's no such thing as a reasonable infringement on my Second Amendment right. I get it, you want to have like mental health checks or licensing or safety courses, something for firearms. I get it, right? So I'm not closed off to that. In fact, I would really, really like to have a guest on the show to talk about that stuff, because there's a lot of nuance in the issue. That's a topic that deserves to be talked about for an hour, So I would really like to cover that with somebody who considers himself an expert. But, that whole saying, when minutes matter, seconds count. That's the one that conservatives like to use about, being pro-gun and pro-cop, but not wanting the cops to be the only guys with guns. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's what I really got for you. Also, big thank you to everybody beyond the last episode. Thanks for everybody listening. Ran into somebody who recognized me. WFM Apparel is now sponsoring the podcast, so we'll get to see some of their cool tracksuits here in the next couple weeks. But what's even cooler is the podcast got on iTunes, everybody. That's right, we got a feature from Apple, sort of. So that's why I'm actually broadcasting from Anchor now, so that way you can get the audio-only version as well as being able to get it over at the iTunes store. And we are trying to grow the show, so, please tell your friends. Ideally, long-term, the goal is to have, a few cameras And just to give us a little something to look at. Maybe we'll like we might not just do the Joe Rogan studio thing. It would be way cooler to like, if we could like go places, not like we're sitting in a mall, but I don't know, like being out there, in the middle of a field or out in the fucking woods. Something like that, something to look at. It'd be a lot of fun, I think. So, if you grow, share, tell your friends, hit the like button. But like I said, you can find us on Anchor and you can find it on iTunes now as well. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening.